I'm forcing myself to make this video. Probably because I already made a video today. I actually only made one video today. I skipped the toy video. But I have to make videos every day, and it is working. Okay, this is a mukbang. This is the first mukbang in a long time. Sometimes people comment and ask for mukbangs. Mukbangs don't do very well. And I noticed, I follow one mukbang channel out of all of them when they were popular. 1 or 2 years ago. I don't even remember what her name is. Cute little Asian girl. Judy Chen? I don't, that might not even be anything close to her name. Anyway, in some of her latest thumbnails, she's been flexing with fake arms in her thumbnails. But I noticed that the views on mukbangs have gone down. I mean, there's Trisha. I never watched Trisha Paytas's. I subscribe to all of her channels, but I don't ever watch her mukbangs. I do like her new Just Trish podcast. Really good. And then that's usually what I do when I eat, even though that's one of the things you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to. I don't know if people are listening to me or not. I might have to ASMR this more. It's not very mindful to watch something and eat. You're supposed to like really watch yourself and pay attention and chew every bite slowly. I haven't shaved in a while. Recently I have been wanting to shave every day. And we're going to be all over the place with this one. Even more so, but I'm more calm. So we're not going to be manic and all over the place. I'm not forcing any conversation out here because it's just casual dinner. Okay, I did just lose all train of thought, and we are starting over. Oh no, I just forgot what else I was going to talk about. We can just sit here and eat too. We don't have to talk about anything. I like how this hat is looking. My beard doesn't look as gray. That was something in this lighting. I mean, it's really dark, really bright back there. I didn't clean up the mess that I made earlier. 2 videos in one day, 2 vlog videos in one day, but this is going up the next day. We'll see how well mukbangs go. Now, I seasoned my popcorn with salt and chili pepper and garlic, sea salt, by the way, and chili pepper and garlic. And onion powder. Onion powder adds a little bit of sweetness. And I use coconut oil because it also adds the sweetness. It kind of tastes like, you know, those bags of, are they called onion rings? Like onion flavored puffed chips, you know, those things. I used to enjoy those. Well, I guess when I would have them like on a holiday somewhere, because we didn't really have stuff like that in my home very often. Some people really hate mukbangs because they hate chewing noises and they hate seeing people talk with their mouth full. The mukbangs that I do watch, I do of course want to hear people talk. Okay, so I was feeling I knew tomorrow was Monday. I knew today was Monday. And I was raking leaves all day. Got like 1/10 of the yard done. It was the pool. It was the hardest part. and I had to drain the pool a little bit, and I still have to do some maintenance, and there's still all kinds of leaves over the pool that are going to go back in there. It was a nightmare. It took all day, right till the time went back today, which is great. It actually is great. I got a whole extra hour sleep, and there hasn't been a lot of sleep going on recently. I like an anti-daylight savings time. Okay. I don't know how I got off the track of... Oh, I do know why, because I stayed, it was dark before I got in. So because I only eat once a day, I came in, I started making the potato wedges right away because I was starving. But while those are baking in my halogen oven, which I'll show you one day, I was so hungry that I had to make my oatmeal and pineapple, which I'll show you one day. And then so I ate that while the potatoes were baking. And then I ate the potatoes. I ate all of my baba ganoush, so that wasn't even an option for me. I considered running over to the grocery store and seeing if they had any. And then I thought it was too late because it was so dark, but it was only that dark because of daylight savings times. I still had 2 hours before the grocery store closed. But alas, I didn't. And I didn't go to the post office. I better go bright and early. Oh, yeah, I don't have to record this vlog, so... I definitely have to... Oh, it might be raining. It's supposed to rain. That's why it was really important that I did the hardest part of the leaves today, because yesterday it's hard to do a video early because it's going to rain. Oh, I was going to talk about, I could have my phone and I could answer questions. I'm also thinking about writing stuff down so that I have points. I'm really good at like answering questions. So that's not a problem for this ADHD or whatever's going on in my brain. Where every single... I heard Mayim... Blossom, whatever her name is. She has a podcast right now on YouTube. And I heard her talking about ADHD, if that's in fact what it's called. And it was like, oh, yeah, that's totally what's going on in my head. Where every thought is coming into your head, and they're all important, so you have to get them all out. And then she talked about medication that, which I don't agree with. And let's talk about that. But before we do, so then I ate the potato wedges, put some mustard on them. I take the mustard bottle, I squeeze a little bit on the potato wedge, and then I eat it. And then I just puttered around. I was cleaning up and things. I still have to clean up that mess again that I made on the floor earlier. If you watched yesterday's video. And then I said, okay, I'm going to eat the popcorn. The third part of my meal. Sometimes if it's like a holiday and I'm really hungry, or I'm feeling like real cozy and feel like I deserve it, I'll make myself another oatmeal and pineapple, even if I had one already. And sometimes I'll just skip one of the things. Like, I'll have just popcorn and oatmeal and pineapple. Sometimes they're out of things. So I can't have pineapple and oatmeal. Because they either don't have any pineapple or any oatmeal. And then and there's been days that I just had popcorn for dinner. Recently, though, that's a lot of food that I'm eating. And it's all like one after another, too. Like there was just, I don't know, there could have been a half hour in between before I had my popcorn. And I'm not eating it right. When I put a little, I said the cooking. Everything falls to the bottom. I have to I've been putting an extra cloth down on my bed because I've stained it. I've stained my good quilts so much from probably things like this. But I do like that I do that, but it's too late, too little too late. I want new sheets too. But now it's not the time to be buying new sheets. And that's why I haven't, because I wanted them for quite a while. But maybe one day. Do you know why? Do you know why I don't believe in manifestation? Because I believed my whole entire life. I've envisioned the life that I wanted. I see it so clearly. And what was it? Just last year, that I looked into The Secret for the first time. Even though it's from the 90s. Like, I mean, I always knew about manifestation and positive thinking. And I do believe in positive thinking and everything. But the truth is, I've been so naive my whole entire life. And I really, really believed. And I really, really saw. And the only reason that I have any negativity in me at all right now is because I've been beaten down. I was just going through the world, rose-colored glasses on, loving every moment. And if I didn't like something, I did something about it. And things came to me that I wanted. Things did come to me that I wanted. And then there's then there's the bad parts of manifestation that can really tear you apart. And that's the idea that they give you, that you're not wanting it hard enough, or you're not wanting it the right way. And I'm feeling like, I don't have this big amount of money. I don't have this money I don't have money that I can actually live off of, because I'm not ready for it. That's what they tell you. There's nothing I hate more than that quote, that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Because that means that I am pathetic. Oh yeah, I did. This is great. This is great that we can talk about this stuff. I hope the way that I'm eating and talking at the same time isn't upsetting you. How about now? Oh, now I forget. It was really good. I was going, you're exactly the place you're supposed to be. Why? Because I'm so undeserving, because I'm so far behind. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine getting a job. The thing is, I wouldn't be embarrassed to have any job. I could. The jobs that I'm qualified for, though, at this point, having worked for myself for so long, I mean, I really am capable of doing anything and everything. I mean, I'm not so good at public speaking, but is that really a job? I always was real uncomfortable. I had, would I call her my boss? No, she was a boss and co-worker, and we owned a business together, but I guess originally she would have been my boss, and she wanted me to make presentations in boardrooms and stuff. And it was just something that I wasn't. That was before. Was it before I did YouTube? I think it was. It was one of the reasons why I started YouTube. It was because I was so bad at like speaking in front of people, and I hated hearing my own voice. So that was one of the main reasons to stop being uncomfortable. And I could never be in front of the camera. In fact, a strange little fact here. I never let anyone take my picture my whole entire adolescent life. So as soon as I figured out that nobody would notice if I didn't go to picture day, which probably would have happened about in the 5th grade, there's no pictures of me until however old you are then. The 5th grade. I just, when you were standing in line up to get your pictures, I would just step out because I hated what I looked like. I just didn't look like what I thought I looked like in my own head. And you know what? I said this before. I don't know about now, but maybe 10 years ago, that is what I saw. So that's kind of cool. So I did grow into myself of who I wanted to be. But whenever I caught a glimpse of myself in like a door, a reflection in the glass, it wasn't who. Excuse me. Talking and eating isn't good. I do like how this hat thing looks. It's really good for my hair to have on a hat. My hair is all smooth, and it's like having your hair blow dried when you have a hat on all day. Except my ears look really big. I mentioned that yesterday. Today, really, but yesterday. I stopped talking about what I wanted to. The chili spice that I put on this is burning my lips. I think they got a little chapped while I was outside. Did I say outside? Outside today. I lost my East Coast accent while I tried to do it on YouTube. I still can't say I say bar, car, far. Yeah, you can still hear it a little bit in there. But I changed from go outside, to out. Which I kind of overcompensate for my out. Going outside. Going outside, outside, like oat, like OAT, like oats. And bar, car, far, ba. And I used to say, until I had some voice coach. Holy, I can't say coach. Voice coaching. Voice couching. You wouldn't say couching, you'd say coaching. But I guess I can't say little coaching. Voice couching. You're not saying that. Voice coaching. Because I used to talk with no ah. Like I was from Boston. Which is really bizarre. But I think it is. I do think it has something to do with undetected dyslexia, and there's this kind of lazy. I also have this lazy, this lazy posture, where I just let my ass swing out. So I do have this weird tight hamstring posture thing that I tried to correct, but it's been my whole entire life. It's been, well, I guess it was 40 years before I started correcting it. So it's never really been fixed, but I really should push my pelvis, scoop my pelvis forward like that. I should give you a demonstration, just not right now, because I've only got my little red undies on. Maybe on OF. Check out my OF. I haven't been doing anything on OF. I never really did anyway. And here I thought this video couldn't be long enough. I usually eat this in less than 5 minutes. When I'm watching something, I'm like, there's this little meme, this little GIF or something on, I don't know if it's on Facebook or just something that you can share somewhere, or it's like an Instagram meme, and it's two little guys sitting on a couch, and one of the little guys is like eating, and you're just hearing the movie start, and then by the time that the movie starts, all the popcorn and all the chicken and all the everything's gone. That is exactly what it's like for me. I sit down with my bowl of popcorn, watching, and the movie just starts, and then all the popcorn's gone. I wonder if anybody can hear me. So, also, I'm moving out, but I don't have a plan. This is a good time to say this, because who's going to listen to the whole thing? What are we going to call this? It's a podcast? Mukbang podcasts, popcorn. Oh, I forgot what I was going to call it. I was going to call this something really clickbaity. Oh, this was the hardest video for me ever to make. The hardest video I ever had to make. Because I didn't want to do it. And I forced myself to do it. Oh, and maybe I started to say that. I forgot what I was about to tell you, but we're going back to what I was going to tell you at the beginning of this video. Oh, I just forgot that too. Oh, man. What? Oh, and I just remembered another one. I'm going to write it down. If I write it down, maybe, am I? So then I have prompts, and I'll write out questions. that I can answer, which just reminded me of the other thing, which I forgot again. Okay. It really goes away. But then I remember, oh no, now I forgot what I was just talking about now again. Okay, I'm going to do prompts. These are connected, so I should be able to remember both of them. So I'll try it, but I've tried it before, and then me reading, I can't just look at the prompt and read it because I'm a very bad reader. It's the dyslexia thing. And also, if you have ADHD and we went off it. We're gone. If you have ADHD and dyslexia, it means you can't focus on what you're reading, and you have to focus really hard to understand what you're reading. So it's like this double. It's like impossible for me to read. I'm such a bad reader, and also at the same time, I'm self-conscious about it, so that also plays into it. So you're thinking about how bad of a reader you are while you can't really understand what you're reading, and you can't concentrate on what you're reading, but all kinds of other things are happening to you at the same time. It's so funny that none of this was diagnosed. It's funny that I was so successful. But I guess they do say that, well, I'm not gonna toot my own horn and say how smart I am and everything, because I can't be too smart. Look at the situation I'm in. I'm gonna say I got this covered. So maybe I'll try a video where I set up some prompts for myself. So at least, like, people do have cue cards, I guess, for that reason, right? But they're usually on my computer, and I can't access my computer because I record with my computer. But I could bring it up on my phone, or could actually print it out on a piece of paper. So I'll try that, and I'll try to do it in a way where I don't write out too much that I can't understand. Now, the thing that connected to it was because I was thinking about reading people's comments and then responding to them. And so there was a comment just today, or, I mean, lots of people were commenting this, but people want to know what my plan is, or they think I have a plan. But I don't have a plan, because there's no options. When I moved in here, I didn't want to. I would like always live downtown. I couldn't imagine not living downtown. It was unfathomable because I didn't have a license. I didn't have a driver's license. For me, I've always lived in the middle of everything, like since I moved out of my parents' home when I was 17, or 18, or I guess I was 17, however old I was when I graduated from high school. How did I just forget what I was talking about? Oh, downtown. Anyway, so my friends had a house, and their parents just died, and they didn't know what to, they didn't know what to do with the house. So they rented it to me. It was at the same time as I was oh wow. I know one of you that's watching this remembers the last place. Was it the first place? It wasn't the first place I had to myself, but it was the last place I had to myself, to completely myself. It was the loft, and I used to live stream from it. I guess it was You Now. I don't know. And that place was great. And I put a swing in the middle of the loft, and I hung it from the ceiling. And I still have the swing downstairs in the basement. I'll have to get rid of that when I move out. I had a swing and a trapeze. I think they were all from IKEA. They were made for kids, but they were wood and rope, and they were really nice. And I don't know if my bum even fit on the swing. Must have, but it was a tight fit. I got a pretty voluptuous back seat. Anyway, it was really cool. It had a trapeze and a swing. I used to swing on it and vlog. But I don't know why I'm happy I moved out of there. I think that whole building had bed bugs. I don't know if I don't think I did. It was a scary building. I mean, I never had any bites on me or anything, so I just hope I didn't have them, and just didn't have, some people didn't have a reaction to them. Anyway, it was kind of a creepy, but it was a really big, huge loft, and it was all mine, and it was really cool, and it had, the bathroom wasn't in the unit, but it was just my bathroom. It was across the hall, and it was like the bathroom from the floor when it was a factory, and other units had their own bathroom inside, but my bathroom was outside my unit across the hall, so I had to always wear a key around my key around my neck, because I was so forgetful, absent-minded, HDH, whatever that HD. So I did wear my key around my room just in case, because I didn't want to be locked out while I was taking a shower. There was no property manager either, so I would have had to go to a whole other part of the city naked to get into my apartment. Anyway, it was a big bathroom too, because did it have a urinal? I don't remember. It had stalls. My personal bathroom had stalls, and I put a television in it. Put a computer, which acted as a television. So when I was over in the bathroom, I set up really nicely too. It was a fun, great place. Why was I talking about that? Oh, that was the last place I lived on my own. So I moved out to save money, I guess. And I got mixed up in, it was all down from there. So had lots of money, always saved money, had lots of, that was the last time. And then be careful who you surround yourself with. So I started hanging out with somebody who wasn't very good with money. And it was all downhill from there. It wasn't really. But when she wanted to move out and not have a place to live, she wanted to be like a nomad and travel the world. And that didn't interest me. And I couldn't get an apartment because I worked for myself and I didn't make that much money. But I had enough. I always had enough money. But because to rent in is really, really expensive. I don't think you can get anything for under $2,000 now. I don't think you can get one small room. I think you can get a room half the size of just this bedroom with a bathroom for $2,000 or more. I think that's the going price. And that's even in the small little fishing community. Well, it's not really true. People are paying, people, instead of living in the city in Nova Scotia, which is Halifax, which is just the smallest part of Canada, should be the cheapest part of Canada. They have to move to the fishing communities and still pay $2,000, but they're renting a house. But, I mean, it shouldn't be that much money. And they do that. They can't live in the city because it's cheaper for them to own a whole house and commute. I mean, that's kind of like what... Oh, I was going to make sure that I brought something. It's spicy, so my nose might be dripping. We don't want to see that. Oh, so I didn't even finish. I don't know where I'm going to live. I mean, maybe I will be a nomad. So I couldn't get an apartment then. Now, that was, what was that, 5? Somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago. Uh-oh. I gotta get a Kleenex. I'm back. The chili pepper. That was before the great, I don't know what they're calling this, the new Great Depression that is going on right now. The post-pandemic crash. The cost of living has soared since then. So nobody's going to give me a place to live. I couldn't get a place to live before. You have to prove like this certain amount of income that I don't have that. All the money that I make, which is very good, well, to my standards, I gotta sell. I'm selling toys and making lots of money, and I have to get rid of it. And I have a lot of valuable toys, and I have to sell them. But getting an apartment is not an option. Like, I might be able to talk myself into getting a room. But you have to understand, the city that I live in, those rooms would be like poor immigrant international children. Like, they'd be international students. I don't know if they'd be poor, without sounding racist or anything, but the living conditions would not be I mean, and then I think about I know that there's these places that like old men live that are like, I don't know, on welfare. But that's me. I'm an old man with no money. I would never be on welfare, though. I would never do that. I would never declare bankruptcy either. Would I? Maybe I would do that. But I'm not going to. I'm going to pay off my credit card. All the money that I make. Oh, I started to say that. Making all this money, but I put it all on my credit card so that I can use my credit card. And I get points. I think the points probably don't add up to the amount of interest that I pay, but I'm paying the interest because that's what you gotta do that's what I gotta do to survive. So, oh yeah, I know what I started to say before too. Who's gonna hire a 50-year-old man to do a 20-year-old kid's job? And I don't have a problem doing the job. I'd be fine. Any stock boy, clothing sales clerk, like folding clothes all day. I would love that. Working in a laundromat. That would be awesome. Hey, maybe working in a laundromat. Oh, the chemicals though, that really bothers me. If it was an all-natural green laundromat, I hate the smell of chemicals. It literally makes me sick because I've never used it or ever exposed myself. So anytime that there's any fake scent, chemical scent, I'm really affected by it, like nauseated. I'm a pure being. We have discovered that I kind of like polyester fabrics though, because they don't stretch out and they always look brand new. Still, yeah, I can't do it. Except for those 2 tank tops, I saved those. We're at the bottom in the crumbs. This might end up... I thought this would be the shortest video that I made. This might end up being the longest video ever made. All kinds of great stuff in here. Leave comments. Maybe questions. Oh, excuse me. I can come back here to this video on my phone, look at the questions the next time we do a mukbang, and we can Q&A mukbang. That's a good idea. We can do mukbangs, Q&As. Look, I have a whole shirt on today. It's like it was like 9 degrees outside, so kind of cold, but wasn't really too. It was like the perfect weather for doing the leaf raking. Yeah. I usually have 2 of these, by the way. I make one with chili pepper, and then I have one without chili pepper for dessert. But it was true about slowing down. I don't feel like having any more. I try not to put too much spice, because there's always too much spicy stuff in the bottom. But I don't think it's too spicy down here. We'll be able to finish. I have a really hard time not finishing my food too. I finish every single morsel. I'll crunch those kernels. I don't waste a certain thing. I even scoop out my eggs when I'm not vegan. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me. I kind of look like a homeless welfare person. How am I going to shave every day? My plan, though, legitimately, my plans, oh yeah, I'm not done yet, am I? They really are. Get on a plane. I might have to do some research here. Get on a plane, go to Hawaii, sleep in the day on the beach, and work at night on the computer in McDonald's or whatever's open 24 hours. I know that there are some McDonald's open 24 hours from when I was there. And I also know how the hotels work because I stayed at some of the nicest hotels. And I could totally just hang out at the hotels. Now, or I could see what's happening in my hometown and move back there. Because I figured that has to be done. Well, I figured that would have to happen sometime soon anyway, because my mother is getting old. And I do worry, but she won't have that. Perhaps. But it would have to be a discussion. We're not at that point yet. There's, I don't know when either. I don't know when this happened. Selling a house is not an easy thing to do. Definitely not during the holidays. Especially when it's filled with the belongings of the people who own it, who live in another country. That's all. So this is why I'm not so worried that it's happening immediately or before the holidays. Because it's kind of impossible. However, I'm aiming for that because I don't know what they really want. There's no communications. They're my best friends in the whole entire world own this house. So it's not. The only concern, my only concern is how much of a burden I am, and that's the last thing in the world I want to be. So I'm going as fast as I can, but the only option for me is to relax and breathe and do it as quickly, but I have to do it calmly. Because if I start panicking, nothing's going to get done. And I have been panicking, admittedly, over the past months before. But before they told me, I had in the month of October, before I knew anything about this, I was in my groove. I finally calmed myself down. This is good. The money was coming in. I was selling lots of toys. It was fantastic. Everything was working out great. And then the news that they wanted to sell this house, and then I panic set in for a little bit, and then you guys aren't helping with the panicking. But the solutions aren't even an option for me. Like there's no. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I have friends all around the world, so that's an option. What would be great is that my credit card is back down to 0, and then this channel is monetized too, double the income, which this is really working, by the way. I have enough subscribers to have it monetized, but I don't have enough. You need to have this major viral video, or make content every day, which I've been doing because it's Vlogmas. This is what you're supposed to do. This is when you make the most revenue. This is what screwed me over last year, is when I accidentally deleted both of these channels and all of my monetization went away and it never came back the way that it was. Like, I'm making a third of what I was making before, because it took away all of the commercials off of all of my channels, and I have thousands of videos. So that means I have to go back, and I thought it was there was some big change that was supposed to happen in November. Maybe it hasn't happened yet, but I haven't seen a change in my thing. I have to go back and add commercials to every single one of those videos. I'm starting with the most popular and going from there, and but my main focus has to be right now to get rid of everything as soon as possible, because I don't know when. They probably don't know when. I'm not helping them by saying, I think they asked me when can you move out by? And I'm like, as long as you can, as long as it takes, as long as you'll let me take. Something like that. That's kind of how the conversation went. And then nothing. And then I heard nothing back. And I'm not pushing it. I'm doing the best I can, the fastest I can. That's what I'm doing. And I guess this video is too long. We'll talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it some more, because I've got videos every single day here at jasonhallett.com. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Oh, I should have said that at the beginning of the video. I don't know if I look good in this lighting or bad in this lighting. Let's see. If I put on my glasses, how do I look? Look like a hipster with this hat. I like that my beard doesn't look gray in this light. I have an earring. I have this strange wrinkle under my eyes, but it was there when I was young, so it was always there. It's not like a new old man wrinkle or anything. David Beckham, younger than I am, looks older than I am. That makes me feel. Also, did he have plastic surgery? Also, people kept talking about how sordid and organized he is. He's not anywhere as sordid and organized and anal retentive as I'm. Well, actually, maybe he is. Maybe he does. He doesn't, like, he's not. Good night. Oh no, good morning. Hello. Thanks for watching.